And welcome to the story of Jewel. I first saw photos of Jewel on a friend's Facebook page, and I remember being completely captivated by her image. There was just something about her, her expression, her presence, that made me stop and really look. I wasn't actively searching for a young horse at the time. In fact, I couldn't really afford to purchase her outright, and I was deep into physical therapy for a shoulder injury. I was trying to be sensible, to make good decisions, and not add any more to my plate than I could manage. Around that same time, my friend had taken my gelding Cowboy home to work with him while I recovered. What started as a temporary arrangement gradually turned into something more permanent. She connected with him in a way that felt right, and after a lot of conversation and careful thought, we worked out a trade. That's how Jewel came into my life, not through a big plan, but through a series of practical, thoughtful choices made during a season of change. Over the summer, I received updated photos of Jewel. Each one assured me that I'd made the right decision. When the time came and she was weaned, I made the trip to meet halfway and bring her home. Those first days are always telling. Jewel settled in easily. She wasn't frantic or overwhelmed, just observant and quiet, taking it all in. While she was in quarantine, I spent time simply working and playing with her. No agenda, no pressure. She learned the basics I always teach young horses. Halter training, picking up her feet, yielding her forehand and haunches, loading quietly into the trailer, and moving softly on the lunge line. These aren't flashy things. They're just the foundation for everything that comes later. Then she had a buddy to spend the winter with, and most of that season she simply got to be a horse. I've learned over the years that not every moment needs to be structured. Young horses so often benefit from time to just exist, to grow, to learn their own bodies and their place in the herd. When spring arrived, she surprised me. She remembered everything. Not only did she remember, but she seemed way more confident about it. That's something I've seen time and time again. Lessons given quietly and then allowed to rest often come back stronger. Then came 2023, and that was a challenging year for me. I started out dealing with heart issues. In midsummer, I came down with COVID. The illness took far more out of me than I expected. My strength didn't return quickly, and I had to be honest with myself about my limits. That year also brought another big change. I made the decision to sell my living quarters trailer. It was a beautiful setup and had given me so much independence over the years. But financially, it no longer made sense. Letting it go was practical and very emotional. I still had my bumper pull trailer, which meant I could haul horses safely. But what I no longer had was a place to stay at shows. And at my age, I'm very clear about one thing. I'm done sleeping in stalls or curled up in my truck. That realization marked a shift. It didn't mean my horse life was over. It meant it was evolving. Because of all this, Jewel spent much of her yearling year turned out with her pasture mates, growing and enjoying life. There were moments when I questioned myself. Was I falling behind? Was I doing enough? But experiences taught me that forcing progress during the wrong season rarely ends well. So instead of stressing, I watched her hang out with her friends, gave myself time to heal, and allowed her to become her silly self. She seemed to have a great time, and I really, really enjoyed watching her just grow up. I knew in my heart then that she was going to be something really special for me. By the spring of 2024, I felt stronger and more like myself. We eased back into work. Midsummer, we introduced a surcingle, a bridle, followed by a light saddle. I sat on her bareback a few times during groundwork, just enough to let her feel weight and balance without pressure. In the fall, we became a bit more intentional. A good friend of mine, a very thoughtful horsewoman, put a few easy walk-trot rides on her. No drilling, no expectations, just calm, positive experiences. Looking back now, I can see how much Jewel's early years were shaped by my own life changes. There was no rushing, no forcing timelines, and in the end, that turned out to be exactly what she needed. As I get older, I'm learning that making good decisions with horses isn't about holding on to everything or proving anything. It's about honesty, about finances, health, energy, and priorities. It's about choosing sustainability over pressure. Jewel didn't lose anything by being given time. If anything, she gained confidence, softness, and trust. And in that same time, I learned how to give myself a little grace, too. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for more Jewel stories in the future. Thanks again. Bye.